Welcome to the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour, Minnesota's richest fishing tournament circuit. We are at the first stop of 4 tournaments leading up to the Tournament of Champions, and over that time, anglers are competing for over $200,000 in cash and prizes. I'm Chip Lear, and I'm here with Tommy Scarless. And Tommy, Red Wing, Minnesota, the Mississippi River, you couldn't ask for a better setting than the first tournament.
Oh, history, beautiful scenery. We've got everything shaping up here for an awesome tournament. The fish are even on the bite. And this is a Pro-Am format, which is going to be more interesting than any other Pro-Am format you've seen before, because the pro and the amateur's weight counts together as one weight. In other words, they're not competing in the boat, Chip, although there's going to be a lot of stiff competition against the other boats in this tournament.
Yep, they may be friendly with each other in their own boat, but the other boats are definitely going to be looking out for each other with that much money on line. So stick with us from beautiful Red Wing, Minnesota and Treasure Island Resort and Casino as we bring you the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, Hormel, K-Fan Radio, Media Rare Incorporated, Mercury Motors, and Michelob Golden Light.
Meet the inspiration behind the truck. We thought of them when we gave it the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. We thought of them when we gave it a bigger extended cab than Ford F-150 or Dodge Ram. Maybe that's why Chevy Silverado owners think so highly of the truck. Now ranked most appealing full-sized pickup by J.D. Power and Associates. Silverado, it's the truck from Chevy.
Look what Daddy gets. Looks good, huh? You eat those peas. This is Daddy's.
When you make a Spamberger hamburger,
Ain't all mine.
watch out.
Perfect.
Because the premium pork and ham, spiced to perfection, makes Spam so good, it's gone. Spam, so good, it's gone.
T-minus 15 seconds. Ignition sequence start.
I think that's what a lot of the people at home don't understand about this tournament fishing. It's becoming an event. I mean, it's like golf, it's like baseball. I mean, there's 400 people sitting here watching what's going on. I mean, it's huge. It's getting to the point where it's a spectator sport.
Mississippi River is a great site to have the tournament. There's a lot of water. Fish is really big, especially right now because it's got both fish in it, smallmouth and largemouth.
But there's a lot of good fish out there. It's got a good population of smallmouth bass down in Pool 4, which is Lake Pepin, and there are also some good backwaters that holds a lot of good largemouth.
The water clarity is just getting stained from all the rain that we've had, and it makes sight fishing, being able to spot the fish on beds, as it were, makes it very difficult.
Spots on a lake are spots, and they are typically owned by people, or at least they think they own them. But the river, if you have patience, you can wait on a spot, and the fish transition, they move in and they move out. But the river is special because it changes every single day.
You can absolutely wreck your boat out here, without a doubt, and if you don't know where you're going and how to get there, you're going to get in a whole lot of trouble.
I got to believe the Mississippi River right here out of Red Wing is going to be the toughest one on the whole trail.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. Tournament fishing can be very stressful. And Tommy, when you wake up in the morning like we had today with dense fog down here in the river valley, and the tournament day ends up getting shortened, that just adds that much more stress to the angler.
Yeah, it was a wise decision from Tournament Director John Hesse to shorten the day or delay this launch in order to wait for the fog to lift. But it's really going to affect those anglers in pool number 5 that have to double lock. They had 4.5 hours planned fishing time. They were going to make the decision to keep 8 fish over 2.5 to 3 pounds. A lot of them were very confident they could weigh 20 to 24 pounds. And now this has literally thrown a monkey wrench and changed everything.
My guess is that the anglers that decide to stay up in pool number 3 and 4 might be feeling like rocket scientists right about now.
Or either that or brain surgeons. I mean, those are the anglers that didn't have to wait for the fog to lift, especially the anglers in pool 3. Those are the ones that could go and get another 3, 4, maybe 5 hours of fishing time on a day like today. And to top it all off, Chip, the winds come up now.
Now we got high winds and we got blue skies. Not exactly perfect largemouth bass fishing on the Mississippi River.
Oh, you talk about a tournament strategist nightmare. I mean, now they've got to consider the run back through these choppy waves blowing against the current. Everything has changed. And whoever is going to be versatile enough to adapt to those changes is going to be the one that pulls off the big victory here.
But we got to see some great fishing action this morning at daybreak. Let's go take a look.
Lock and dam number 3, this is John from the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour. We're trying to come down. We got a lot of fog. If you can get me a GPS coordinates, I would appreciate it. All right, I'm probably going to get below, get these guys through, and I'm going to hold them until it clears a little bit. I don't want them running in this fog, so. All right, 4. What number? What number? There's no 28. I don't see him. 2 o'clock, below the lock, 20 miles an hour, bud.
Here, lock and dam number 4, we're 1 lock below where the anglers launched from. So that means they have to go through 2 locks to get down to their spots here in pool 5. Pool 4 is about 4 foot higher than pool 5. So what they're going to have to do is go into the lock, wait for the water to be lowered, and then the gates will open, and that'll allow the anglers to traverse down this lower pool. Watching Mark Fisher. He's fishing a small road bed underneath the water about 2 foot. He's pitching a small jig to it, finesse fishing it. Just got here, missed a bite. Let's see how he does.
The fog bank was so thick by the time we got halfway through Pepin, it was just everybody disappeared that was ahead of you. So it made running real bad. And now we finally settled down where we wanted to go to begin with. And we're lucky enough to get into the locks because the locks have a big play here, and we drove right up and waited no longer than 5 minutes. So now we got to make, I was hoping to have maybe 4 hours to fish down here, and that's probably cut down to about 2. So I'm hoping these big girls show up. We're optimistic. We'll hopefully catch a few fish. We got a good area, and it's just beautiful down here. What can you say?
We pulled up on the sand break right here. First cast, took a one that was about 5 pounds. It's kind of a good way to start out the day. When pre-fishing, we were having a lot of short bites, so I took and was using an exposed jig head with a about a 3-inch power worm. Hit it right off the top of the sand and fought him for a while, and Am did a good job netting them, and we got him in the boat. Good Am out here today. It's a huge difference. You know, you don't have to worry about catching all the fish, and the Ams can, you know, take control of their own baits, and it's very important that you don't have to worry about an Am. It helps out the team.
This is a 3/16-ounce Thunderbolt for bait lock. Fished on a green pumpkin baby brush hog, which are relating to the wood on these banks, and fish seem to be holding in there.
It's been a really good morning this morning so far. We're fishing the wood here, and we've been doing really well.
Yeah, he's a good one. You'll keep.
Needed
Yeah,
it.
look at that.
Good job.
There we go.
That's the one we needed.
Let's get this baby in the box.
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice solid keeper there. Boy, I had him good, hooked good. Real good. There we go. Look at that.
Nice
Look at that
job.
smallie. Yeah, let's get this right in the box. There we go.
Good job.
Yeah, here we go.
Who's on their way to becoming the champions of this kickoff tournament in Red Wing, Minnesota? We'll know more right after this.
Every stretch of river I've ever been on is absolutely gorgeous and just littered with wildlife. Ducks. I'm a duck hunter, so just seeing all the mallards and all the different types of ducks winging around, bald eagles, you got everything down here. It's amazing. So it's a great site for a tournament. Treasure Island was good enough to borrow us their facilities to be down here, and they've taken great care of us too.
You know, the neat thing about it is there's so much wildlife down here. This morning I went in the backwater area and there was a deer that popped out, walked across this shallow river stretch, and you know, she looked at me, I looked at her for a long distance. She sat there and drank water, ambled on by. You know, there's beaver all over. You can see how active they've been. I mean, it's really pretty to come down here, and it's kind of a neat deal too with all the old river towns. You know, the charm of old Minnesota. You know, Red Wing, Wabasha, you know, those were the major freeways that we all are accustomed to now.
We're only an hour away from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul in the metropolitan area up there, one of our larger markets, but we're located right on the Mississippi River. We're a historic town. We've got just a ton of outdoor activities. We've got a historic shopping district downtown. This town was built on Red Wing shoes and Red Wing pottery, so we're known internationally right now. So you just have to get down here and experience it. There's just a wealth of things to do. We have 7 beautiful bed and breakfasts in town, a wide range of different homes that they occupy. Very, very nice for people that want to get away for that perfect getaway. A lot of fisher boats out here. We host a number of tournaments, both national tournaments and regional tournaments here. The bass fishing is good. The walleye fishing is exceptional year-round. Each time we have a tournament like this, we get a lot of media coverage. We get a lot of people coming into the area with their spouses, and they're impacting our town. They're experiencing it. And then we hope that they're going back and they're telling their friends about Red Wing.
We're here with Tournament Director John Hesse. John, this morning you had a very difficult decision as the river was covered and the fog was socked in. What goes through your mind as Tournament Director when you have to make a decision to actually hold the boats up during prime time fishing?
I think you got to look at the safety of the tournament anglers, but you also got to look at the safety of the other boaters out there. Once we got through the lock, you couldn't see anything. So we just held them to 7:15, and they cleared out a little bit, and we got them going, and we held the speed to 20 miles an hour, and away we went.
Thank you very much, John Hesse, and let's get back out to the water and see some of the fish in action.
You got it.
There's a little dam right here around the corner. There's a lot of moving water through here. We came here the first day of practice. I had never been down here before, and we put in the backwaters down here and ended up, saw some fish surfacing, thought we'd stop. We hit some really good smallmouth in here. Again, with a little bit of movement, water movement in here, seems to be holding them, but right now, again, it's a little later and they seem to slow down just a little bit, so we're trying to go real slow and just hopefully we can get 4 more bites. Got him? There you go, that way, buddy. Measure him up. Wow, was that something? 3 times he casted back in that same spot. That fish just came up 3 times and slapped that lure away. Finally, Joe just kept casting, and all of a sudden, there he was. That's what makes it fun.
Keys to find these hard bottom banks with the wood coming in, like this tree right here. I mean, I can see that log facing down. Oh, there's one. Get the net.
Okay, got the net.
Get him in. Yeah.
Get him down here. All right, good job, Chris.
Look at that.
What a monster.
Dude, that's close to a 4-pounder. Oh, that one helps. Number 5.
Yes.
That's a nice fish.
Beauty.
Now that is a nice smallmouth.
That's what it's about.
Oh, they're just gorgeous fish.
Well, the fog delayed us quite a while. We finally got up here. It was a hectic ride. We could hardly see at the end of the boat. By the time we finally got here, we picked up one in about 20 minutes, and now we can't seem to get bit here. We just got a 13.5 incher a second ago, and they got to be 14 inches. We're going to run up by the barge up there and see if we can't get a few fish off the spot up there. It's a good spot. They got the barge parked right on the spot, but we'll try to sneak in and maybe get a couple over the side of it. This barge is parked right where all the slack water is, and that's where the fish have been. They've been there for the last month and pulled about, you can get about 5 fish a day off it. And now that this barge is here, it kind of cuts off where I'm trying to get to the fish. But usually, the other day I got one right behind it here.
Right now it is, I guess it's 9/11. We've got one fish in the tank already, one smallmouth. But coming through Lake Pepin after that fog, I was glad I had my GPS, because that kind of indicated me which way to go and stuff. And without that, I think I'd have still been in Lake Pepin for another 40 minutes or so, because I kind of used that and I slowed down and crept through the main channel and got into it down to where I wanted to fish. And right now we're dealing with the fish, the largemouth, sitting on beds, and the water's a little stained, so you can't really see them on where they're bedding. So you just gotta either hope you hit right where they're at and they're aggressive enough where they'll take it, or you gotta just basically fish for the pre-spawn bass. That's what I'm hoping. There's still some in here that I can pull some out, some good females. And we'll see how it goes at the weigh-in, I guess.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Midwest Sports Channel, the Minnesota State Lottery, Ranger Boats, and the Star Tribune.
We have one really good fish in the live well. I'm saying it's at least 3.5 pounds. Smallmouth. We had all smallmouth today, and unfortunately we had a couple really nice ones get off right at the boat, but like I was telling Dean, sometimes the fish win, and that's just the way it works.
I got to fish with Kim, and we had fun. Caught some fish, nothing big, but caught fish, you know.
If you look in the back of the boat, you can see the clothes hanging. Bob went swimming today.
I like staying an amateur.
Why do you like it?
You can show up, just go fishing, and that's one of the reasons. It takes the stress off, and you can enjoy. In my aspect, I just enjoy it more.
we've taken this whole show ashore, Tommy, as the anglers are coming ashore now, bringing some of their catches into the docks. And this is the first of 4 qualifying events for the Tournament of Champions. Here we are, Red Wing, Minnesota, the first event of the year. But every angler's goal is to get to that Tournament of Champions in September, the Tournament of Champions Championship. What does it take to get there?
Well, they run by a point system, Chip, and what these anglers are striving to do is be in the top 40 point qualifiers to make that championship berth. The way that the point system is structured is that the first place finisher in each tournament will end up with 100 points. Second 99, third 98, fourth 97, even you get the points, so on and so forth. So what it amounts to is the top 40 point qualifiers plus the last year's champion of the Tournament of Champions, the Amateur Angler of the Year, and the Pro Angler of the Year. So there's 43 in all that are going to make it.
And speaking of Amateur Anglers of the Year, there's also a Junior Amateur division as well, correct?
Yes, there is. And what basically you have to do to qualify for that is just be 16 to 17 years old. It's you require a little bit of fishing skill, not much, but it allows these young men and women to actually compete in a bass tournament and figure out their tournament mentality so that someday they can be the top of the bass world or the top of the fishing tournament world and be stars themselves.
I'm really excited because this is my first one, and I haven't slept well this whole week. I like fishing the Pro-Am event because you're fishing as a team. You make friends with the pro, everything counts together, you're not fishing against each other, you're trying to help each other out. It's just a great experience, and you know, it's just a ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready now to weigh in the anglers for the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tournament. These guys have waited a long time. Let's get them excited with some noise. Can we make some noise? All right.
10-16. 10-16, that's right up in there.
Good job, guys.
A little bit higher. You took off kind of the fog and we stayed there for about noon, I guess.
And what did we end up with?
4.83 pounds.
Good job, guys.
You should be proud. It was a tough day today. Way to hang in there, Harvey.
397, there's the new big fish leader at just under 4 pounds. When the cameraman comes on stage, something's about to happen.
Went to the bank and I got an awesome amateur. Mike caught every one of the fish, and I just did a net job today.
Well, that's the beauty of fishing as a team. And we end up with
10-16. 10-16, that's right up in there.
Good job, guys.
A little bit higher.
We're not going to leave the suspense up here any longer. We want to see what this big sack weighs. Just a hair under, say, 15.99 pounds. 468, a new big fish leader. 1,620 could be yours. Give me 5, brother. Oh, boy, do we got a sack of fish. And boy, you better get ready, guys, because we got a sack of fish. Yeah, son. This could be your new leaders for the tournament.
17-18.
17-18. There's your new leader for the tournament, I believe. Your game plan, Mike. We've got a new leader here with 17.38 pounds. You guys are in the league. I want a woohoo. You ain't get off the stage, so give me a woohoo. Woo! There you have it.
Now it's time for the winning tip, brought to you by Berkeley.
A lot of these fish we caught we had to slow down. We went through the first time on a pattern, and we were throwing spinner baits and crankbaits and fast-moving baits that the fish would chase, and then we slowed down. We kind of went back through the same area, and we slowed down quite a bit, and we threw a couple different baits on some different things. One of the lures we used, one of the 2 lures that worked real well today was a Zoom Super Fluke. It was a watermelon seed color. I dipped the tail with chartreuse dye, some Spike It. The dye on the tail of the bait, I think, really helped in the stained water, helped the fish find it, and I think it really helped them take it in real well for the day. The second bait we used today was a baby brush hog. It was a green pumpkin. Again, I had the tail dipped for the stained water, and I was flipping it relating to wood, flipping up shallow, and I used a 3/16 ounce Thunderbolt weight with the bait lock on it. I think really helped secure the bait and kind of Texas rigged, and it worked real well. My partner Patrick and I had a great day here in the Mississippi River, and we'll be looking to see you guys at the Gull Lake Tournament.
Pro angler Matt Kleins, along with his amateur partner Patrick Steele, put it all together today here at the Red Wing Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. The first stop of 4 stops in preparation for the championship coming up in August, Tommy, and they are to be commended for holding their composure and putting together a great day.
23 years old, how consistent. I mean, here they're on fish, they're fishing too fast, they look at each other and say, we're not getting any bites, and they slow down and they start smoking the fish. They get 6 key fish in that first spot where they didn't think they were going to get any bites. They move, they get another 2 fish in another spot, they've got a bag for 8, and they win the tournament.
That was awesome. What was really incredible was last night we're talking to all these anglers and everybody's thinking largemouth, 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 got to run to pool 5. They held a little shorter fish than smallmouth, and it ended up to be their key technique.
Well, and you're talking 8 fish, Chip. You know, with 5 or 6 smallmouth or a 5-6 bag fish, then it's a situation where you could win it with largemouth, but with 8 fish, you know, the quality of fish that the smallmouth were ranking added up by average and won the tournament for them.
And they take the first event of 4 qualifying events, all leading up to the Tournament of Champions in August for the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour. And we look forward to seeing you at the next Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour event at Gull Lake in beautiful Brainerd, Minnesota.
Don't miss it.